win the fight or you have to knock him out? It's just win it and get your hand raised.
Motivated too. He's obviously fighting for another title too, just like how I am. So he's a big puncher. I think with the big punches, the last thing to go is the power. So I'm going in there and I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a fun fight.
You know, since the Angulo fight, like these guys have been increasingly just putting the handcuffs on. Like they're just shelling up and not trying to exchange. Do you think that's going to be the case with Lemieux? And has that been tough to get, not the stoppage, but that knockout?
It's a little bit tough, but as a professional, as a world class, as one of the best super middleweights in the world, you got to learn how to work around that. You know, if they put the hands up, you go down low. You know, when they put the hands down low, you mix it up to the middle, you go to the top. So it's definitely just helping me in the long run. You know, it's like you got to learn how to deal with adversity. You know, I don't want to be like Edgar Berlanga where he says, you know, I didn't knock this guy out because he was running from me the whole fight. You're gonna get people that run from me the whole fight. You know, it's up to you to figure that out and try to knock them out, even though they run from you.
Are you looking to pursue the Lemieux fight the same way Golovkin did, as far as the same game plan, since he has so much power?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like with Golovkin, he had one of the things that made that fight, you know, made it go his way for him was the jab. And for me, I don't really got to go trying to do that because me, naturally, just the jab comes out for me, and that's my bread and butter right there. But, you know, I definitely have a lot of other things I could do, you know, different from Golovkin. You know, I'm not the same fighter as Golovkin, but, you know, I feel like I could, you know, I could even get a even more impressive stoppage than Golovkin, you know, because I have a lot of speed. I put my combinations together, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
After the Lemieux fight, if you can't get Caleb or Charlo next, is Demetrius Andrade the fight you're looking to make sense? He's the only one that's winning the fight.
Definitely. I think Demetrius Andrade is the only other fighter that makes sense. These other fighters I want to get, either Caleb Plant, Charlo, Demetrius Andrade. Even if we get Edgar Berlanga in there, and if not, I think it might be time to go up to 175. You know, I've been trying to make all these fights happen for a long time, but I feel like right now, when I win the WBC interim title, I'll have a little bit more leverage. But if I can't make them happen, you know, it's because the fighters don't want to fight and take the fight with me, and you know, so I think it might be time to go up to 175.
What about the possibility of fighting David Monroe Jr. then?
That would be a great fight too. So there's a lot of good fights on the table. So if we could get any of those fights, those would be the fights I would love to get. You know, but like I said, if I can't get any of those fights, then I might go up to 174.
David, is there any truth to Samson saying that just to get into talks with Boo Boo, they need at least a $7 million offer?
No, it's not true at all. It's not true at all. I feel like if I want to get the fights, I want to sacrifice a little bit less money to get the opportunity to get my name out there, and that's what's going to happen. Everything comes to me and my dad first. You know, if we decline the fight because we're not, you know, it comes from us. You know, I'm not going to say, oh, I'm not. If I don't get $8 million, I'm not going to take that fight. I've never even made $8 million. You know, and why would I decline a fight with Boo Boo Andrade? I feel like you have to look at the opportunity first, and whoever shines from there, then after the fight, you get $8 million. But I wouldn't decline that fight for no $8 million.
And you know what? I also got in touch with Boo Boo's father also, if he's watching. Shout out to him. You know, he's a great person. He told me that this is the last fight, and they're gonna be free agents. So we are working on that fight, me and his father right now, and try to make it happen. You know, they said that they're willing to make that fight, so we're excited. Hopefully that fight can come out next.
Now, Jose, you were talking about the thing there with Paul Andrade, and he pretty much like gives you and David Benavidez the same respect as far as like, you know, that's like a fight that they're, you know, entertaining, but they just give y'all so much love.
Of course, you know, nobody wants to fight for Boo Boo Andrade. You know, he's a slick fighter. Everybody says that he's a terrible fighter. He's not a terrible fighter. He's a dangerous fighter. That's why nobody wants to face him. We're willing to take that challenge. I think David can stop him. You know, we have to work on closing the angles and cut the ring off and attacking that body. You know, he has to move around and find a way to beat David. Also, I think that's a great fight for both of them in order to go to the next level.
Hey, David, would you rather fight Andre after you guys force Canelo to vacate the titles than fight in a unification, or you don't care about it and you'd rather fight now, just unifying the interim titles?
I don't care. I feel like whatever fight comes first. You know, right now, to be honest, I'm kind of like forgetting about a Canelo fight because he's over there in Daz and he's doing his thing. He's saying he's going to fight Bivol and Golovkin, and then I heard he might fight John Ryder. You know, so like I said, I feel like I got to take this route and fight everybody over here. And then at the end of the day, that's going to give me more experience that I need, because at the end of the day, Canelo, he's where he's at because he has experience. You know, he's fought a lot of great fighters, so I feel like if I go the same route, fight all these great fighters, beat them, I'll have enough experience to go in there and feel more comfortable with the fight with Canelo.
David,
think
two-part
Plant-
question. One, how much does being a family man and a father change you as a person and a fighter? And do you have to get that Canelo fight before his career is over with? Is that guy, you gonna chase him now before he hangs him up? You gonna see him?
Yeah,
Regardless if it's
I
2-3 years
think
from
I
now?
still have a long time to make that fight happen. I don't think he's retiring anytime soon. I think what is he, like 32, 33?
30, 31,
31, so I mean, I don't think he's even thinking about retirement, especially the way his career is going right now. So for me, I'm getting older, I'm getting more experience, I'm getting stronger, I'm feeling even more comfortable in the ring now. So if it happens now or 2-3 years, I'll be ready for whenever the opportunity comes. But as for me and being a family man, having my family here, this is just the best. It gives me all the motivation I need in the world. Yesterday we were at the gym. I was with my wife, I was with my son, and he's right there throwing some punches and stuff. So it makes me happy. I feel like when a boxer that's happy and has a motive, is working for him and his family, I think he can't be stopped.
Let me ask you, David, I know you brought up a lot of names in this interview as far as the guys that you like to fight at 168. With the exception of Canelo out of the equation, who do you feel would possess the most challenge for you as far as the fighters such as Charlo?
To be honest, I have to be 100% ready for all of them. They're all good. That's why this is a different level right now. I can't tell you who's going to be hard and who's going to be not because I haven't been in the ring with them. I mean, they're all pretty good, so you just have to be ready for all of them. And you can't go into a fight thinking that this fighter, he's not going to hit hard, or he's not going to be fast. Because sometimes you go in the fight thinking like that, you might get surprised. So I feel like everybody I go in the ring with, I got to be 100% ready for it.
Do you think Plant is go ahead.
That's
Jose.
what I was going to bring up right now. The fight that we really won, that we really worked so hard for it, and it was. I did talk to Yordenis Ugas, Caleb Plant's manager. He says that I'm not David's manager, that I'm just a trainer. I am David's manager, and I did reach out to Yordenis Ugas to make that fight with Caleb Plant. We were talking, Caleb Plant, Luis tried to do the best to make that fight. We were working on it, and he declined. He said that he wants to fight the best. He wants to fight whoever's up there. He wants to get up in the top right away. Why not make that fight? It doesn't matter what happens with David. David's only 25 years old. Why not fight in September? Why not fight in December? Pick the day, whatever day you want, Stop making all these excuses and let's make it happen. That's the fight we really want to do with Caleb Plant. So whatever happens, I'm pretty sure David's going to come victorious on May 21st. Let's make that fight happen with Caleb Plant. December, September, whenever he wants to do it.
Do you guys think he's serious about fighting you in the second half of the year?
I don't know. I hope so. I'm serious. I feel like we've given this fight, we've let it, marinate as long as possible. And I feel like now it's going to be even a better position because once I get the WBC interim title, there will be no excuse not to fight. He said he wants to get back up to give a rematch to Canelo. This is the best step to do it.
What do you guys think when he was saying, well, now they made me an offer now that I was tied up with Anthony Durrell?
He declined. He doesn't even have a fight with Anthony Durrell.
But before, we've been in camp for like 5 months, man. And if they were really serious about it, they could have been like, the WBC could have made the fight with me and him mandatory. If his team would have got in contact with the WBC, he fought for the WBC. He's still ranked up there. I think he's ranked higher than David Lemieux, so they could have made that mandatory. So what would have been the problem? There would have been no problem. We could have made that fight happen. Just like when he fought Caleb Truax, we're in camp for the same time. If he was as big and bad as he said he was, why wouldn't he just take the fight with me? Instead of Caleb Truax, just because he was waiting for a fight with Canelo. That's what I'm saying. With me, it's a big risk, very little reward, and that's why they don't have confidence in themselves. That's why they didn't take the fight with me.
Well, what if it's a thing like you don't jump in there with a killer like Benavidez right after a loss? You gotta win a fight.
He said he wants to fight the best. He says that we're running away from him, but so I don't understand. Why not admit and say okay, let me build up. I think he needs a tune-up. I think he's done. I think we're gonna retire him. In my opinion. So
and the thing I want to say about these guys too. I don't like any of these guys too, but to be honest, I need all of them. To get to the next level I want to get to. I don't like Charlo, I don't like Caleb Plant, but for me to get to become a pay-per-view star that I really want to be to, I don't have no shame in saying I need these guys to get to the next level because we all need each other. if I get a fight with Caleb Plant, whoever wins that fight, that gets elevated, and then we become even better. We become a even bigger draw. So that's how that is.
Steven, do you think we'll be able to see David against Charlo or Plant in the next 12, 18 months, or?
Look, it makes sense, and I think, you know, one thing that the pandemic reminded everybody is it can all be taken away at any minute. This can all disappear. So I don't think it's a coincidence that coming out of the pandemic, that we have had no issue making tough fights. You look at our entire schedule, it's all tough fights. No one's getting an easy break. I don't think that's a coincidence. So we're in a period right now that I think is, you know, and it's throughout the sport. And so I do think that this has had an effect on people, and those are fights that need to be made. There's, you know, life is short. Let's do it.
Let me ask you, David, there is, you know, in pro boxing, there's a lot of successful father and son duels and unsuccessful, but what makes your pairing with your father, you know, stick out from the rest?
To be honest, it wouldn't happen any other way. I wouldn't want to be with anybody else, and I wouldn't want to train with anybody else. And just the trust we have in each other, and the bond we have, it can't be broken. I feel like it's not different from any other father and son relationship. I think it's just that we just don't take no for an answer. And we stay there, we work. We've had thousands of hours training in the gym, you know, thousands of sparring sessions. Like literally, I've been training since I was 2 years old, and it's just, you know, I feel like we always had it in our mind that if it wasn't going to work out, it wasn't going to work out. But at least we trained as hard as we could. At least we knew we put everything into it. And to this point, everything has been good, and we're still going. We're getting stronger. We're getting better, thinking better as a team. Everything is getting better. So I mean, let's just keep it going. And that's how it is.
Jose, why are you never over the top about your son? There's a lot of fathers like, my son would knock out Sugar Ray Robinson, and they, you know, and but you mean you always believe he'll win the fight, but never like over the top.
You know, I have a lot of respect for everybody. Everybody's a dangerous fighter, man. You know, you can't just say, I'm gonna go and knock these guys out, you know. At the end of the day, you know, it's just whoever comes best, you know, and my job is to get prepared and get ready for that day, you know, and try to focus and get the discipline that we can, just to come 100%. And I believe that I haven't done anything yet. We're barely touching the surface, you know, so we have to keep working hard, and we gotta stay focused and disciplined, and that's my job, you know, to get up every day and keep doing what we've been doing, you know.
And I think too, it's not that easy to knock everybody out like that. You know, people say that, oh, I'm going there now. But if you do everything right, you know, I feel like if you don't put that pressure on yourself, if you just go in there, do everything right, follow the game plan, the knockout or the stoppage comes by itself. You got guys like Rolly and other guys, oh, I'm gonna knock this guy out first round. That's just putting way too much pressure on yourself.
Do you think there's any chance he does? How do you see that fight go?
Hell no. If he knocks him out, it's not gonna be in the first round. I don't even think he'll get close to knocking him out, but it'll be a good fight. I feel like Rolly, he's the type of fighter that if things don't go his way, he'll try dirty tactics. But I think Gervonta Davis is just too good of a fighter all around to even him. We never even seen him be hurt. You know, so how is Rolly going there and knock him out in the first round?
Now, David, you had your fight against Davis last year, which was in the state of Arizona. It was a very good crowd for that. You had your brother there also fighting. But going from that to this particular fight against David Lemieux, how's that being fighting in your hometown with, you know, the status that you have at this particular point?
I think it's going to be even better this time. You know, last time I feel like a lot of people didn't go. Well, not a lot of people. They got filled up, but the people didn't go is because they thought that, you know, something would happen because I pulled out the first time because of COVID. So a lot of people were scared. I think they said they sold like 2,000 tickets the last day, and they said that's unheard of. But this time, since it's going to be a WBC interim title, a title fight against another great ex-champion, you know, people out there love me. I got a lot of fans out there, a lot of supporters. So I feel like this time they made it in an even bigger arena. Where is it?
Talking Stick, right?
Yeah,
The Talking Stick Resort
And that
Arena.
one's even bigger than the other one we fought at. So man, I'm excited, man. A lot of people are gonna go, and I'm gonna definitely put on a show. I've been working hard, so it's gonna be great.
This is a question like we all can probably talk about it. I know Mr. Espinosa back there. We're talking about a lot of people in here, and we seen tomorrow is a Cuban fighting in there back there, and it's another Cuban that can be on your way, David Morel Jr. Great guy. He basically came to the U.S. made already world champion, 5 fights, already WBA champion. when we can be talking about making this fight happen. It's a fight that a lot of Hispanic people be talking about. You and Morel in the ring, two big guys that can collide in a big fight.
Yeah, definitely. If we can make it happen this year, then I'll be all for it. You know, David Morrell is a great fighter. You know, he's very technical. You know, he's had a lot of big amateur career, and I'm down to make that fight happen whenever. I seen him yesterday. You know, I gave him a handshake. He was a cool dude, and I'm ready to make that fight happen whenever.
What do you think about that, Mr. Espinosa? Is a possibility? It's going to make the numbers when we're talking about what is happening tonight in here and seeing this combination, Mexico, Cuba, and a big guy in Morel?
Well, you know, putting nationalities and ethnicities aside, the reality is it's two of the best fighters in the division. And whenever you do that, we saw that last week. We saw that with Condora and with Lubin. When you put the two elite guys in, you usually get something memorable. So that's the motivation, you know, on that fight. Now, you know, personally, I think, you know, I know, you know, David and his family probably, you know, want this as soon as possible. I'd like to see Morel get a little bit more exposure yet, let him grow, let this, I'm not a fan of sort of marinating, so to speak, but, you know, he hasn't fought on Showtime yet. He's gonna fight on Showtime. We'd love to build up his audience, make that a really, really big fight, because that's that's skill-wise, it's two of the best guys in the division, without a doubt.
Jose, like they said before, you the kind of a trainer and that keep it for real. You go all about your son, but how big and how important you see that collision in between Morel and him?
I mean, that is a big fight, man. I can't, you know, it gives me chills, you know, just think about it, that a fight that, also another fight that's very dangerous, a good fighter. And like Espinosa said, you know, we just have to wait and we keep working, staying focused, and whatever comes, you know, whatever they say, you know, we're ready to do. We're here to work, and they do a great job, you know, of the fights that they're doing. Him and Luis Cubas and the whole team, man, they're doing a great job. We just go to the gym, work, and we just wait for the date and the opponent. We never say no to an opponent. To this day, no, we never say no to no one. So we're just here to fight anybody, and I think that's a great fight, and I can't wait to make it happen.
And
David,
David,
how
any
comfortable is it to make 168?
It's good with a good diet, dedicated diet. It's not easy, but I can make it good. And that's so I've been in camp since like January 15th. So I've been on top of my diet and on top of my water, so everything's going good. It's very easy to make.
And that is a lot better than a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's because I feel like when you get as a professional, you know, you got to pay dietitianists and nutritionists. All this stuff costs a lot of money. That's why a lot of people don't know how to cut weight sometimes, because you got to pay, you got to see the formula and see how it comes out, and it sometimes doesn't come out cheap. You know, a lot of these nutritionists, they don't want to show you everything for free, so you got to be with them for like 1 or 2 years and then see how everything goes, and then you just follow the steps down like that. You know, it's very easy. It's in the morning, everything has to be at the same. You got to get breakfast, you know, 2-3 eggs, maybe a tomato, for lunch, chicken breast, tomato, at night salmon, tomato, but then the thing that's very important too is the 2 gallons of water.
And the way you're cutting weight now, how much of it is it making you a better fighter today?
It's making me a better fighter because every time I train now, you know, when you cut weight, you get a little bit dehydrated, and now I'm not dehydrated at all. I can push through all my workouts with a lot of energy and a lot of intensity too. So that's what helps me a lot. I put 110% in every workout.
So this is we're going to see a lot better version of you.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah, definitely.
And David, Shakur Stevenson, I'll quote him. He said, "David Benavidez is a bad motherfucker, and that he thinks you're the toughest fight out there for Canelo." What do you think of his fight with Oscar Valdez, and what he had to say about you?
First of all, you know, I just feel very honored, you know, from getting a compliment like that from an Olympian and silver medalist. You know, he's a great fighter. I feel like he's going to be unified champion in multiple divisions one day. So I feel very motivated by just hearing him say that, and I feel the same way about him. I mean, he's a great fighter. He's probably one of the best 130-pounders, you know, in the world today. And I feel like he's going to go in there and he's going to beat Valdez with no problem. I think it's going to be very difficult for Valdez to even catch him, or, you know, to catch Stevenson's counters. You know, and Stevenson, he's a bad motherfucker as well. So, you know, I'm very happy to hear that.
And with Joe Smith and Better, you have any thoughts on that? And would your speed be too much for either one of them, regardless?
That's a great fight. That's one of the fights I'm most excited about this year. You know, just to watch as a fan. I feel like, to be honest, I feel experience is on Joe Smith's side because he's fought Bernard Hopkins, he's fought Dimitri Bivol, he's fought, what's his name, Sullivan Barrera. You know, he's fought a lot of good guys.
Jesse Hart.
And then he hits hard too, so. You know, I feel like they're both motivated. I mean, it's just this is a different level. You know, they're very motivated to become unified 175 champion too. But you know, just the way I was seeing Bergeby fight when he fought that one dude,
Marcus Brown.
you know, Alexander
Bosnick.
and I've sparred Alexander Bosnick too, and I've heard him. So I mean, just seeing that he had a success with Bergeby, it makes me think, what if I go up there? Now I'm sure I could touch, you know, Bergeby for Joe Smith, you know, because I have the speed and I have the power, and I think going up to 175, I'll be even faster and even stronger.
And then obviously he's been dropped before, so has that kind of like put an idea like, oh, if Callum Johnson dropped him, like I could definitely drop him or hurt him.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I can hurt anybody I put my hands on, you know, anybody. But like with knockdowns like that, I don't think, oh yeah, he has a weak chin, this and that, because this is a flash knockdown, to be honest with you.
That wasn't his first knockdown.
That wasn't his first?
No, he got dropped earlier in his career. I can't.
Okay, well then maybe he has a, you know, I mean, if I catch anybody with the right shot, I could drop anybody. But like I said, yeah, I don't think about that. I think about, you know, just being the best version of myself, worrying about speed, combinations, power shots, body shots, and that way I could, you know, when I'm 100% and I could see how I'm doing, then I could look at a fighter and see what I could put in or what the type of combinations I could use.
Thanks, David. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, David.
Thank you,
guys.
Thank you, Jose. Steven, you have a few minutes? You want to get on with No?
That shit is dying, bro.
Hey, want to get a picture of you today?
All right, folks, that was pretty fun for me. I enjoyed those awesome roundtables. I hope you guys did too. I said we saw. Much love to you, Fight Hype family. Love you guys. Catch you later tonight. Especially with Mel.
Yeah, man, that was
That was fire. He gave us some fire. He did. Mel Charlo gave us some good shit.
yes,
It was on some like, I don't do soft things, so I'm gonna do it right.
I told you, John, I learned so much from you. You probably wouldn't even know you. I learned so much.
It's awesome, man. I was able to, I'm so happy you got rocket started. So then I could follow up on it, because sometimes you don't want to be that dude that asked that first. But it's like, well, now I already got you talking about it, so. Right. Oh, him, yeah.
I thought that was him yesterday. That was
Oh.
yeah, I can definitely tell him.
Mel's
I like type. My bad.
All right, my peeps, that's it for David. I'll get up Jamel and David stuff up soon. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. And we will be going live tonight. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And we'll be going live tonight post-fight. We're getting a hell of content with a lot of people here. So appreciate you guys watching. Thank you. Hit the super chat. This boy's trying to go to Australia. If you can. I appreciate it. Thanks. trying to create my Australia fund, bro.
Give my man money.
That's what your boy Ty. I needs it. Thank you guys.